having their respective highlight moments throughout the course of today's game, but it all comes down to this. Game 8, let's see it.
Everybody at home, everybody in this arena, we're all asking ourselves the same question. Will Peterbot and Pollo do it again? Year after year, championship after championship, they are the ones known to do it all.
We have seen crazy plays happen in final games all year long. It's Fortnite heritage at this point. But this time around, it looks like everybody is going to do their best from their own spot. Damo and Kazi, are they going to play spoiler here? What's going on? Hold on a minute. Scrolland first.
He gets the AR. He gets tagged up though. It's down. First place is out of the game early.
Kazi and Damo are public enemy number 1 of this lobby. They're not even gonna leave it for Vico Malabuca, Peterbot and Pollo to decide. They take the battles up and duke it out over at Llama's Landing. But Sky and Scroll, what a heartbreaking finish. The point disparity just not enough. This is the deciding sequence of events.
I don't think anybody in this building was expecting that to go down how it just did. And just like that, the door is wide open for any one of those teams in that top 5 to try and win the tournament.
I think everybody that is playing in this lobby now saw that in the feed and realized what's at stake. And for Peterbot and Pollo, in that last game, they didn't land on them. They went and hunted them down. Now, Taco, there's only one team in their path.
But you can't forget about who else is hot on their heels. Shark and Teeny. Only 5 points separating them between the next spot on the leaderboard. And with that in the back of their minds, sure, you can keep Vico and Malabuca, but if the fight takes too long, you might just be cooked for it.
Skull died. Skull died. Sky's forward. I'm fine. Be calm. Yeah. I know.
Stay calm, Malabuca, reminding Vico, the job is not finished. Stay calm, our chance to strike is now.
We're having all these conversations about Vico Malabuca, Sharktini, Peterbot Pollo. We can't leave Acorn and Bolts out of the mix. 295 points. I believe not too far behind them either. Swizzy and Pixie sitting around that 274 threshold. But Wonky Land fairly undisturbed for the time being. Teeny and Shark just going to surge base it out. But at this rate, the lobby is going to be picking up in pace rapidly because currently every single one of these teams you would anticipate, maybe they try to take out each other. Maybe the gloves just come off with Sky and Scroll being out of the lobby, but they don't want to risk what they feel like is their best shot at first.
I mean, as the game goes on, the room for shenanigans tightens. And honestly, it just becomes about putting your best foot forward and playing your best Fortnite here in game number 8. There is still so much to play for, not just that first place trophy, all across the lobby. Players desperately fighting for a spot in the top 15 to qualify for globals. And now everybody left in this one is playing for something here.
But why not me? That's got to be the theme running through Vico and Malabuca's minds right now, but they have to stay focused.
We saw Vico saying a prayer before the game began. It looked like his prayers were answered. He just has to finish his part of the deal now and deliver the goods.
10 points separate what Vico and Malabuca are at now. And first place on that leaderboard. And if they can get that, close out the game, they would be your Major 1 Summit champions. But they still have so much competition to watch out for. But again, Levin, you said it yourself, there's room for so much shenanigans. Shark is gonna go down. Teeny's by himself. Iyamzo and Josh are the ones hunting him down in Wonky Land.
They've had a rough go about the day, and they're looking to try and change their fate in the final hour here. A massive game is necessary for Zoe and Josh to bring this one back, but when they've taken out a priority fragger here at Wonkyland in his own backyard, Josh and Iyamzo have the chance now to step it up.
And everybody's been bigging up these newer faces at the top of the EU mountain. But here in game number 8, nothing but struggles from our bright young stars. It's up to the experienced vets, the former champs, to try and show them how things are done.
Uh-oh. They know. They know. Right now, they already got that elimination onto Shark. They see a giant surge base at the top of Wonky Land. Typically, this is where you would see them, but they just can't find them.
They don't know, though. They have no idea that TD is still hidden, tucked away so discreetly inside of the safety of his surge base. But just one pinky toe out of line. That's all he's waiting for. The slightest opportunity. And if he can put down Zoe or Josh here in this moment, Darman Demish might just choose to strike. They're going to be drawn to any sort of immediate battle because even the polls are aware of the fact that every singular point matters, not just for the prize pool, but for securing your place at Globals in top 15.
Iyamzo and Josh will leave. And like you said, Taco, no clue in the world that Teeny was still right beneath them. And that room might just be enough for him to keep Shark in this game and keep their chances alive.
Bot and Pollo up above. No fast moves coming at him this time around. And it's just, the gap is that close that they don't really have to worry about it. And a lot of extra heals for Peterbot and Pollo. A whole pizza shop underneath. And Peterbot is the one really taking the role right now, being on top of that surge power to take control of their storm surge.
It's the fact that Pollo had dropped everything in his loadout to just prioritize gathering as much resources as possible, taking them back to their surge base because they know, they likely saw it in the elimination feed too. Shark is gone. Sky and Scroll fully eliminated. So many top contenders now left in a very awkward position. And so their best bet might just be to play to their strengths. And Levin, earlier on in the last lobby, you called out the fact they're a team that tends to heat up as the game goes on. And right now, they're seemingly on fire. The only duo in this lobby to strike with 2 victory royales on the day.
Yeah, and they might just go for a third tackle. That's the type of form they're currently in. When you've got the greatest of all time, Peterbot, and he's not even the best player on his team right now. Pollo playing at unbelievable levels.
Great corner bolts, see the strategy. They kind of mix together the Fizz grenade, the shockwave, and that long launch pad towards the back, kind of moving out of render distance for most players as they quickly try to make their way in zone, and that's been a focal part of their game plan today.
The best part about it is that because of the fact that Shark is no longer in this lobby, Teeny will have to wait around. Wonky is just too distracted, cannibalizing itself from the teams that made their entry points after the fact. And darn Demish, they're willing to stick it out. The vending machine camp out might just come to an end here for Iyamzo as he gets hunted out, fully ambushed.
Iyamzo loves that vending machine. We saw him run to it so many times today, so many times in the lower bracket yesterday, and here he is punished in this final game.
That information right there is huge. Teeny knows Iyamzo and Josh took down Shark. Now he knows Darman Demas just took down Iyamzo and Josh, so he knows it's still not safe to move out of there just yet.
And that sort of delay to his overall game strategy for Shark and Teeny in comparison to a team like Vico and Malabuka, who have the luxury of just playing out their full Storm potential. They are not in any sort of rush. They just have to keep their wits about them, keep their bearings. Vico always drawn back, I think, to that moment when he used to play with Pink. The loot's free, but this time he's much more reserved. He's much more composed, and he knows it's all about staying side by side with Malabuka to bring this one home.
When you have a player as talented as Vico, but as emotional as he can be, there is no better pairing than Malabuka. Stone cold, never too high, never too low. And against an on-fire Peterbot and Pollo, that is the temperament you need.
Pete Pollo just non-stop scanning into the horizon. It's going to be so difficult for Prakash and Hero to even make their way over that hill face. They are looking to fully lock them out the edge of zone.
Teeny has rebooted Shark, and so the marathon continues. Things aren't as easy as far as the pathway to a potential victory for these two as it is for others, but it certainly is not over. Shark has been one of the best players in the world this year, earning more and more, experiencing more and more, but he needs to be at his very best here in game number 8.
It almost feels like we're going to have a lot of our top teams kind of stacked and positioned at the north side of the map. We got Acorn and Bolts. Just saw Peterbot and Pollo. We know Shark and Teeny are towards the north, along with Vico and Malabuka. So no matter where this zone goes, to the north or the south, there's a chance all of our top 5 remaining teams could come to a clash.
Shocking factor. Teams that have been performing the best in the lobby here today, now currently sitting in some of the best positions for this next zone. Pixie and Swizzy continuously looking back. They know that their destiny is fully under their control for Global Championship, but what they want is another step upwards. They need that top 5, even better still, maybe even dreams of top 3.
And this is the type of team that if you're one of those players fighting for the victory right now, you don't want these guys kicking it in the lobby. They are going to be a big threat. We have seen that. We know P and Pollo like to play high. Shark and Teeny do too. Swizzy and Pixie are always going to be impactful in those fights. Still so much talent in this lobby that can play spoiler to any one of our top 4 teams.
Just got to keep in mind as well, we're so focused on first, rightfully so. That top 15 mark coming into this game is 214 points. Goes to show how stacked this leaderboard actually is on both ends of that spectrum.
And old grudges might be restored here depending on what happens next. Cooper, Reed, so close to where Ritual and Agers were just at. I know it's easy to kind of sort the difference before the day has started, but it's another affair entirely to kind of throw salt in the wounds and find yourself eliminated by the team that's been contesting you all weekend long. But first and foremost, Ritual Agers, they'll have to try and sort out what's directly in front of them because the lobby's closing in and their wiggle room is just so limited.
At points in today's competition, Shadow and Virgo look like the best representation NA was going to have. And while they've continued to fight and be a threat, this final game will be their biggest test. Will they stumble in the final hurdle? Will they continue to do what they have done and be a solid team in this lobby?
I like their thought process here. 104 below the damage threshold. Shockwaving through, could have instantly tried to fire off at anybody along that path, but they made it a focus. Get into the zone, get high ground, and that's going to be the best opportunity to get the damage that we need.
But the thing about Shadow and Virgo is they're not a duo that we often see struggling to maintain their surge threshold. So the fact that they find themselves in this position just underneath, UNDX gonna solve that problem for them. A little bit of pressure alleviated, only 11 below, just one more tag necessary. They don't want to have to expend any of their Flowberry Mist Grenades so they can avoid it, but players are just refusing to budge. No one is giving an opening, and that goes back to the original point. It's difficult to find your marks.
From 15 to 68 to even finding elimination on the Minori. But Virgo takes a shot from above. All good things eventually come to an end, only spending a short moment on top of that Storm Surge. Now they quickly fall below. It's active as well. Every 7 seconds, 25 damage will get ticked to eventually taken out, not knocked altogether. Swizzy's feeling it as well. 193. Even worse though, Taco, because he's by himself.
And Swizzy's trying to do what he can to reserve those last couple of pizza slices, but the problem is the way that the lobby is folding into itself, it's just not going his direction. He doesn't have the openings he needs. He has to heal instead. Now chasing behind Jace, gets a big shot to open, but Jace is firing back. Swizzy got the knock, but he didn't get the finish, and he's out of here.
Look on board, Shark and Teeny. You almost would have never have guessed this team was almost an inch away from getting sent out of this lobby. But now they're back, 400 above the damage threshold. They have a little bit of high ground, and they've regained control of their own destiny.
It only makes sense for Game Mate to come down to a forest zone location. This is prime time territory for Shark and Teeny, and it also makes height all the more difficult to control. It's very obscured vision up amongst the treetops, and so for Malabuka and Vico, they're gonna stick to the low ground, but they're gonna wait for their moment to try and strike above.
But that'll be no problem for this duo. I mean, they've dominated the low ground at times today, comfortable on any layer, and that's what you need to be when you're fighting till the end.
Yeah, you gotta remember, it was Vico on day one that was leading the pack in terms of eliminations. 314 here. They're just taking it one step at a time. They realize with a leaderboard this stacked, all it takes is one misstep, one mistake to really cost you a chance at that first place. And even more so, there's over $1 million on the line in this tournament. Each and every placing, you almost lose thousands of dollars.
And for a duo like Peterbot and Pollo, mistakes are far and few in between. These last few lobbies, they have been going absolutely ballistic. And frontside control now seemingly about to belong exclusively to them. Virgo trying to see if he can make the wraparound, but the problem is he's 285 below. Even if he makes it towards a frontside position, he still has to look back. He still has to connect shots. And when you're a one-man operation, potentially clashing head-on with other duos, this could be the end of it all.
Oh no, a big shot again, falling further below the damage threshold. 18 HP. He needs more than a miracle here. He almost needs 3 eliminations worth of damage, and a lot of that is getting stolen away. Nearby, Peterbot and Pollo, 144 above the damage threshold for them. Pollo deserves all the flowers in the world with how he's been playing this weekend, really leading the team to the promised land.
Here we're looking at wraps right now for Virgo. One more tick unless he gets this shot in. Twy, though, gonna manage to just slip away, and Virgo won't be able to make it through. Twy and Cringe safe for the time being.
And even though we pull away from the treetops, you can see Shark and Teeny still want to play for height. They take Acorn down, and that is perfect for their standings. They take down the team, or one of the players of the team, just beneath them, and that leaves Bolts in an awkward position. Will they continue to play for it, or will Hari look to get involved?
You're really seeing the live leaderboard right there, update in real time, not just elimination, but placement points as well. Peterbot and Pollo find their first one of the game. Slow and steady wins the race, but they got quite a large gap to overcome here.
And this is where it becomes very challenging for Vico and Malabuka to keep their composure. You're seeing that elimination feed light up. You're witnessing Pollo and Peterbot, Shark and Teeny make their surge up, and yet you still have to try and play to your own strengths. You don't want to lose any sort of kind of upcoming, and the swing is through. Vico and Malabuka, they've overtaken first.
This is a big moment for them because they cannot get lost. Taking first is not enough. They have to be able to hold it for the rest of this game. But another elimination from Vico has been found. First of the game for him, but he's diving deep into the zone to try to pick it up. Luckily for him, he does get the siphon.
The tournament is in their hands. There has never been a bigger moment in Vico's career, and this is his time to live up to that moment.
But he still has to deal with the likes of Pollo and Peterbot. He just has to play his own game. And from this frontside low position, everything seems achievable. Right now, they are leading the charge in the underground. So much space has been claimed. They keep continuously looking back. The rebuilds are established, but Peterbot's ready to fire off.
A battle for high ground. They are doing it! It's inevitable!
That's the past versus the present. Pollo, once again, has to show why he has been the best player in this lobby all day long. Vico, with first place in his hands. Malabuka allowing him to lead the charge for a moment. This is the best case scenario for this duo.
This is it right here, though, because it's going to come a point in time, Taco, where Vico and Malabuka just stay alive. It's going to be mathematically impossible.
And Malabuka, Vico, though, they know exactly what it takes in these final moments. They're ready to bring it up. Malabuka goes big time. There's the knot. Vico with the finish and the siphon for HP. Vico, go! Vico, go! Every single part of the way.
They can do it. They are beginning to run away from it. And now 40-point gap. Winning the game for Peterbot and Pollo is not going to be enough because they are bulldozing their way through the competition. But Malabuka goes down. Vico left by himself. He just needs to stay alive long enough.
Vico, he's no stranger to a solo situation, and he'll look to hit even more shots and completely run away with the competition. Cammy is in his sights, but he just has to connect with the crucial shot. Running it in and out of the zone, it's Vico, it's Vico, it's for Vico!
It's it right there, though. Pollo's still alive as a solo. I'm not sure what the point gap actually is, if he needs all the eliminations, if he needs the victory royale, but if there's one person this weekend that proved he will not go down without a fight, it's this man here, proving that maybe chickens can't fly.
And all Pollo has to do is see if he can get the first bit of confirmation. Epic and Pop underneath. Pollo, can he do it a third time? But it's a matchup. Epic Will and Pop hold it through. Pollo doesn't get the win.
They have done it. Vico and Malabuka, they stayed alive in that last game. They got eliminations. They immediately destroyed the rest of the lobby. This is their moment. This is their chance. Vico and Malabuka, you are the champions.
And just like that, history has been made. Vico and Malabuka are going to bring home the title of Summit Land Champions, securing their spot at the Global Championship 2. But that trophy, it belongs exclusively to Vico and Malabuka.
Go ahead, guys. Lift that trophy. You are champions!
The crowd were chanting your name, Vico. What an experience to finally win an Evans Yes LAN and to do it with a crowd that loves you.
I mean, what can I say, right? I promised my mom I was gonna win this year, and I mean...
And she's watching you right now. Is there anything you want to say to her?
I'm gonna say it on German. Mama, ich hab's geschafft. Ich bin der beste Spieler der Welt.
She's been at your side for so many years. We've watched you grow from a teenager into a champion. And Malabuka last year 8th at Globals. It wasn't enough for you, was it?
Yeah, well, I didn't stop at this. I got Vico as my teammate, and we just did everything. I couldn't have asked for a better teammate.
And the two of you, it's like your opposites. Vico, you can see this man, he's so hyped all the time, even when you don't win. You cool, calm and collected, but has this man changed you?
He did change me. He did change me a lot because I really love to play with him. He just makes the game feel easier for me.
And seeing the two of you together, Vico, you can see that crowd. They want a word with you. I want this man to see this crowd and to give them a message, Vico. What would you like to say to them?
Danke für deinen Support, Düsseldorf. Ich hätte es niemals geschafft, dass ich das hier treffe. Let's go!
Vico loves this crowd, and we love you guys. Vico and Malabika, please take your positions. Please, Düsseldorf, one more time. Your first ever FNCS Major 1 Summit champions. It's Vico and Malabika.
Fortnite fans, they have done it. Vico Malabuka, come down here. Come down, bring that trophy. Don't forget it, come on. I cannot believe it. Vico and Malabuka, your champions. You can hear him celebrating. This way, this way. He's celebrating with a bar. I cannot believe it. The way Amar feels right now is the way we do as well.